Hello everybody and welcome to Penwortham Priory Academy. I'm Mr. Eastham, the principal here at Priory, and I'm going to take you for a quick tour of our great school.
Yes, no problem. All right, hello, yes, you.
Okay, we've just come through the reception area of Priory and we're now in what we call our senior leadership team corridor. So this is where you'll find my office, my vice principal's office and our assistant vice principal's offices as well. As we walk round the school, you'll see lots of displays and lots of photographs on the wall, and that gives you a little bit of a flavour of what it's like in a typical day, in a typical week, in a typical year, and all the activities that our pupils can get involved with through any academic year. Not only are we blessed with some fantastic indoor facilities here at Priory, but we have some wonderful outdoor facilities as well. And as we go round the school, you'll see things like our rose garden outside, our Mediterranean garden, our Priory garden as well. So some fantastic outdoor facilities for our pupils to enjoy as well. But we'll carry on further down into the school. We'll just pause actually here as we're walking through, because as we go around the school, you'll see what we call our meet and greet points. And these are outside every classroom, so that as pupils arrive at the classroom, these are the points at which staff will meet and greet their classes to make sure that they are on time and prompt to lessons. So these are our meet and greet points, and there'll be presence from staff all throughout the school between lesson changeovers and at break and lunchtime. This is a really important corridor for us. This is our pastoral corridor. And in this office here, we have our entire pastoral team. So various pastoral managers, heads of year, etc. Mrs. Crank, our assistant vice principal. And they oversee all the work of our pastoral team here in school. So the primary responsibility for our pastoral team is to make sure that every single pupil feels happy and safe in school. And our pastoral structure at Priory means that your sons and daughters, if they're to join us, they will be, yes, part of an academic year group, so they will have a year ahead of year, and they will track and monitor their academic progress throughout the course of their time with us. But they will also be part of one of our, what we call inter-house houses as well, and that's Calder, Douglas, Hodder or Ribble, and that's a vertical pastoral house system where we have year 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s and 11s all part of one of those particular houses. And the house leader's responsibility is to make sure as well that pupils feel happy and safe, but equally that they get involved with as many different inter-house activities that we lay on as a school right throughout the course of a typical academic year as well. So this is a really important corridor to us. It's designed so that there is an adult here all the time, so that if pupils need to speak to an adult at any time during the day, then this is where they would come, and this is where they would find somebody to speak to. So this is our pastoral corridor. This is our wonderful Mediterranean garden, and if you may recall at the start of the tour I mentioned that we've got some absolutely fantastic outdoor facilities as well. This is one of them. This is the Mediterranean garden. There's lots of areas that pupils are able to access in their own time or from lessons and from various areas of the school. And you'll see as we go around that we take as much care and attention to our outdoor facilities as we do our indoor facilities as well. And so this is our English corridor. So off this corridor are our English classrooms and our English department. Just a point of note, as we're in this corridor, you'll notice that every corridor, and lots of corridors, have lockers. And every pupil at Priory has their own locker, so that when pupils join us, they can put their things into their locker, they can have spare equipment in their locker, and they're able to access that at breaks and lunch times before and after school. We expect things like coats to go in lockers, all that sort of stuff, but equally pupils can have spare equipment in their lockers, so if they actually forget anything, they know that they've got spare equipment for their lessons each and every day, and they can be prepared for their learning each and every day as well. So this is our English corridor. This room is actually part of what we call our bistro, so this is for years 10s and 11s actually at breaks and lunch times. We have another dining area that we call our restaurant, and that's for years 7, 8 and 9 at breaks and lunch times, for them to be able to get their lunch and their break refreshment. And then we've got a separate area as well, which you'll see a little bit later on in the tour, that we have solely just for our year 7s. Where they can be, that's their area just for them, where they can go at breaks and lunch times just as a year group. Nobody else is allowed there, and that we find really helps with transition from primary school to secondary school. But this is our bistro, and as our pupils get older throughout the course of their time with us, then they move into these different areas. This one is just for year 10s and 11s, but what that does mean, it means there's lots of areas right across the school for all our year groups. They can spread out, they're not having to spend lots and lots of time at breaks and lunch times in lengthy queues, spending all their lunch queuing for food, because they're able to get it very, very quickly and then enjoy their break time. Okay. We'll just have a quick pause here in one of our English classrooms, and what you'll perhaps notice as we're walking around the school is just how spacious actually our learning classrooms are and our learning environments are. So we believe here at Priory it's really important to have learning spaces that doesn't dictate to the member of staff how they actually are going to deliver a particular lesson. So the space, we don't want to restrict that. We want spaces where the pupils can get up and about and move around the classroom. So as we go around the school, I think that's one thing that's quite unique about Priory. The learning spaces are large, they are spacious, so the teacher can deliver a lesson and the pupils can utilise the space accordingly, rather actually than the room dictating how a particular lesson might or might not be able to be run. So this entire area is our library area here at Priory. It's one of several libraries actually that we have across the school. This is our main library area, and you might notice that it's right in the heart of the English department. So we've just come through a classroom into the library, and we've got another classroom for English just off to my side here as well. But this is a library that pupils can access at breaks and lunch times. Now that's really important for us, because here at Priory we have what we call an open school policy. And that means the school is our pupils' school. We've got wonderful facilities, and it's really important to us that our pupils are able to use the facilities as and when they might need them. So at breaks and lunch times, the school is open to our pupils. They are allowed in the school. They're allowed to go to different departments. But this is a very popular area at breaks and lunch times. The library area, pupils can come and obviously read here, but they can sit, they can read magazines, some come and play chess, etc. So it's just an area where our pupils can come at breaks and lunch times and utilise in their own time. We also have space for pupils to come and do their homework. We don't really refer to it as homework as such here at Priory. It's just extension work for us. So it's really important that they're able to have spaces in school where they can do their extension work, their homework in other words, even during the school day in their own time. It's not essential that they go home and actually do that work. As long as they've done it and it's ready for the hand-in date with the member of staff, then that's absolutely fine. So across the school, I mentioned that this is one of the libraries that we have, but in all our department areas, we have areas set out that are individual library areas as well for departments. So we have, for example, a Humanities library area, a smaller library area in one of the Humanities rooms, but that's where pupils can go if, for example, they've got some Humanities extension work. They can go there and actually get some books and access some resources that they might need specifically for that subject area. And we also have what we call study zones as well. So in certain areas, in certain departments, maths upstairs, for example, we have different seating arrangements for the pupils in study zones. And the idea there is that if the pupils want to stay at the end of school, for example, instead of having to go home and start work again, they can stay at the end of the school, they can go to our study zones and access those areas and be able to do their work here before, in fact, they then go home. So we're trying to create an environment for our pupils here where they have lots and lots of areas that they can access and go to and support the work that they're doing from all the subject areas right throughout the course of the day. So we've just come upstairs to maths, and maths runs over the entire top floor of the school here at Priory, right from the staircase that we've come up to, the staircase at the far end. But you'll see here at the back of this particular maths classroom just an example of the study zone that we've got for our pupils to access. So we'll often see pupils coming here at the end of school and sitting down and sitting some past papers, for example, if they are revising or studying in preparation for their GCSE exams, or they'll come up and they'll do their extension work, their homework. And the great thing about being able to do that in our areas that we've got, these study areas or these library areas that we've got across the school, is that they've got the members of staff to access as well. So our members of staff will be in their areas, breaks, lunch times after school, so our pupils can actually ask for their help and support as well. So this is our alfresco courtyard area. So this is another fantastic area for our pupils to come at breaks and lunch times. It's where we have pupils able to access food and drink at both breaks and lunch times, many of whom then will go on to the AstroTurf and then use the AstroTurf at breaks and lunch times as well. So another wonderful outdoor space for our pupils to be able to access. And then that leads directly to our design and technology building, and that's where we're going to go next. So this is our design and technology building. So this is where we have food technology, we have art in here, graphics, engineering, etc. And you'll see by the design of the building that our pupils are able to freely move through this building. So there's classrooms outside the central area here. And the idea is that we're always preparing our pupils for life beyond Priory. So what might it be if they were to work in a design and an engineering job, for example. The idea would be they might be doing some design work in small rooms, but they've got the computer access, and equally they've got the access to the state-of-the-art laser cutting equipment as well. And our pupils get involved with every single aspect of design and technology, from planning right through to production as well, and they're able to utilise this building depending on the stage that they're at in their particular project. So they work their way through the building. So some fantastic facilities here in our design technology building. We'll just have a quick walk around. That's our food technology room. And this is our graphic designs room and textiles room as well. And what's wonderful about the facilities that we have here, if you just glance over my shoulder into this classroom, for example, not only we've got the tables and the design tables where the pupils can sit and start their design work, but they've got the computers as well, and then we've got the state-of-the-art laser cutter in the corner. So in that one classroom itself, again, you can go from design to production just in that one classroom. And that's how this whole building is designed to support our pupils in terms of the work that they do. And at breaks and lunch times, as well as lesson times, we've actually got the AstroTurf, so that's open like I've mentioned. We've got extensive fields out the back of design technology. That's where we do a lot of our cricket as well. But we've also got our main field here to the side of the school as well, and the woods are ours, so there's lots of different outdoor activities as well in terms of orienteering, cross-country, athletics, football, rugby, all those sorts of sports are covered in PE. So really, really great outdoor facilities for our pupils to access. So as you can see, this is just some of the part of the extensive fields and outdoor facilities that we've got, and the woods being ours as well. So orienteering, cross-country, all that sort of activity takes place here right on site. So we've just come through into science, and this is what we call our flexible learning space. So this is right in the heart of science. This is an area actually at breaks and lunch times that just our year 10s and 11s can access. So as they're preparing for exams or doing study work or what have you, this is their particular study zone just for year 10s and 11s. And they have our careers hub, so information about jobs and apprenticeships and careers that they might want to go on to once they have left Priory as well, in our careers hub library in the corner. And we have some state-of-the-art labs that come off this central area. So we've got dry labs and wet labs, and we've got a whole host of labs on this side of science as well. And as we cut through, we'll just have a little look at some of those facilities as we walk through. so we come to, if I had to choose, my favourite part of the school, because this is right at the heart of the school, and this is our Priory Garden. And it's a wonderful, wonderful garden for our pupils to enjoy. Like I say, it's right in the heart of the school, and all our individual subject areas and department areas come off this central Priory Garden area. So again, this is an area where our pupils can come at breaks and lunch times, particularly when the weather is good, sit on the grass, eat their sandwiches. Another wonderful area for our pupils to be able to enjoy in their non-contact time, their non-lesson time. So this is our Priory Garden. And we'll just head off into our Humanities block, which obviously comes off the Priory Garden as well. So this is our Humanities area, RE, History and Geography, that's where the department is, based in this area. You'll notice, perhaps as we've walked around, we've got lots of areas in our department areas in school where pupils can come, again at breaks and lunch times in their own time. So they can come into here if you've got some particular work that they want to do, geography, history or RE. All our staff are based in their department areas right throughout the course of the day. They have their own staff rooms in their department areas, and the idea there is that if pupils want to come and speak to a particular member of staff in a particular department, then all they need to do is go to that department area and the member of the staff will be there for them and to help them. But there's also areas where they can sit and do their work in all the department areas right across the school as well. And now we're in what we call our auditorio. So this is one of our performing and drama areas, creative art areas in school. For big productions, you'll see as we come to the end of our tour, we have our assembly hall with a stage and enough room for a big audience. But for lessons, in the main, they'll take place in our auditorio here. And equally, we do some very intimate performances in here as well, with audiences in our auditorio as well. The classroom that you see here through the glass, that's our sort of drama and performing arts classroom area, so they can do their theory work in that classroom, their stage work, prep work, makeup work, etc. And then they're able to come out into this area and perform. And we also have things across the school. We've got a piano here in our performing arts area. That's there for pupils to access at breaks and lunch times. So we'll often get pupils that are taking piano lessons and things. Just come down at break, they can play on the piano, they can actually get some practice in there as well. We have our recording studio, so we have groups that will use our recording studio and use the facilities in there to help with their productions if they're in bands, etc. And then we're going to head through the top corridor here, which will take us into our MFL department, Modern Foreign Languages department, and that down towards our PE department and equally our IT department as well. So this is one of our Modern Foreign Languages departments, and I mentioned before about departments having their own library areas, and here's an example of one in our French room here. So again, French specific, Modern Foreign Languages specific text for our pupils to be able to come and access within one of our languages classrooms itself. And so we've just come down the corridor from our Modern Foreign Languages department, and this is our music department. So you can see the sort of setup that we have here in music. All these keyboards are out right throughout the course of the day, and like I said, with our open school policy, we get a lot of musicians coming in here at breaks and lunchtimes to actually sit and practice and access the equipment that they might want to in order to practice or just give music a go and give certain instruments a go as well. So just like we've got libraries and department libraries and study zones right across the school, again, music, pupils can come down here and access the facilities here in their own time as well. This area is a really important area because not only has it got our IT department housed here in our HEX, our ICT Innovation Centre, but equally for your new Year 7 coming to Priory, when you first start with us, this whole area is exclusively just for you to help with your transition from primary school to secondary school. So at breaks and lunch times, there's an area just in here that is simply yours as your own dining room if that's where you want to be. This whole area outside and our multi-use games area is your yard as well at breaks and lunch times just to use. So it's exclusively for the use of our new Year 7s that come to us at breaks and lunch times. And that's the case right throughout the course of the academic year as well. But we'll head into the IT department. We'll just have a little peek in here because I mentioned this is the dining area or one of the dining areas that our Year 7s can access. It's currently set up for some careers information that we want to do in school next week. But again, you can see the tables and the chairs here, and many of our pupils, perhaps that are on packed lunches and things, this is where they'll come at breaks and lunch times to actually have their lunch in the school. So this is our ICT and computing department. We've come up the stairs. We've what you've probably noticed, two very large classrooms upstairs, again, carrying that theme of having really large learning spaces that don't dictate to the teacher how they can deliver a lesson. So this is our IT department, so we've computer suites here, there's space in the middle to do some theory work, etc. And we have 3D printers and the like that the ICT and computing department will use and utilise in lessons for all year groups. Coming down the stairs, this is our third IT room, and it's a slightly smaller room than the two upstairs, but still spacious for lessons. So used for IT, but also our PE department will use this room as well for their GCSE PE and some of the work that they need to do in terms of the theory work for GCSE PE as well. And it's very, very close to the PE department, which is just across the Year 7 area here. That's where the gym is, and that's where some of the PE staff's offices are, for example. So as we come back into the main school building, we've got the sports hall. We'll just head there and then we'll come back down this corridor. All the lockers that you see down this corridor are our Year 7 lockers. So this is where we'll often see our Year 7s when they arrive to school in the morning coming and putting their equipment in for the day or putting their coats in and then equally getting their stuff out for the rest of the day. But we'll just head into the sports hall, then we'll come back down this corridor and finish up in the restaurant, which is just for Year 7s, 8s and 9s to use. So this is our sports hall. So what's wonderful at Priory is we never ever have to cancel a PE lesson, because if the weather's really, really bad, we've got wonderful indoor facilities. We've got an AstroTurf facility. We've got a gymnasium as well. So there's loads and loads of fantastic facilities for our pupils to be able to use. And you'll see just from the setup of some of the stuff that we've got here in the sports hall, we do a really wide-ranging variety of sports and activities here at Priory. So we don't just specialise in one or two sports. We'll do all the sports that you would expect to do, from football, rugby, cricket, athletics, all those sorts of things. But trampolining as well, table tennis, badminton, all these sorts of activities. We very much believe in giving pupils a wide range of experience rather than just one or two individual sports that we might want as a school to focus on. So a huge amount of activity going on right across the PE department. And again, these are the facilities that pupils can come and use at breaks and lunch times. The PE office is just off the sports hall here. We've got a big large viewing window for the staff to manage and to allow the pupils to come in and practice and have a go and get better at those individual sports that they might want to do in their own time, away from lesson time as well. So this is our Priory restaurant, and this is where our Year 7, 8 and 9 are able to get their lunch and their break food, etc., just in this room themselves. We've got the bistro for Year 10 and 11, like I say. We've got our outdoor Priory pod as well, that the Years 9s, 10s and 11s that are using the AstroTurf can access. So that means actually our pupils come and use this dining room. They can spend their entire lunch in this dining room if they so wish. Because the pupils are spread out at those break and lunch times in the day, they're not having to queue for long periods of time. If they want to come in and sit down with their friends and have a meal and then stay in the dining room, then they're able to do that. This is our assembly hall, and for many of you that have visited the school, this is probably the one place in school that you recognise the most, because this is where you might come for open evenings, things like that, but certainly for our big productions, so our drama productions at Christmas and at the end of the year, this is where actually we'll do those productions from with an audience. It's also during the school day where we'll have our house assemblies, our year group assemblies as well. It runs straight off through these double doors to the sports hall that we've just been in. So PE will use this facility as well to use to do dance and various other activities in this assembly hall. So lots of different use for this actual room. So that ends the tour of our school. It's been a quick tour of the school, but hopefully what it does is give you an idea and a glimpse into just some of the fantastic facilities that our pupils here at Priory have to access. If you do want to visit the school at any time and come and see us during a normal working day, then please do get in touch with the school and we'd be happy to arrange that for you. But thank you for tuning into this tour of Penwortham Priory Academy, a great school where every pupil learns to succeed.